Hello my gorgeous cuties out there, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree and I am just a crazy lover of makeup, fashion, especially makeup palettes and all that fun and glittery stuff. So if those are things you are also interested in, please hit that subscribe button and join this little family we have here. But in today's video, it's more palettes. Yes, more palettes to review, more looks to come, because your girl can't stop, won't stop when it comes to buying palettes, especially when one of my favorite brands releases palettes. I'm like, I'm sold. I need it now. But I did pick up the 3 palettes from the Temptalia and Sydney Grace collaboration. She created 3 beautiful palettes, so I'm going to do some swatches, do a look with each of them, and let you guys know what my thoughts are on all of these palettes. So if you are interested in seeing all of that, then keep on watching. Alright my loves, welcome. We are just gonna dive right in. Sydney Grace is a indie brand based out of the US, and they collaborated with Miss Temptalia, and these 3 palettes were created. Now this collection I feel can be a little overwhelming because there's just so many eyeshadows, so much going on, and all of the palettes have a similar vibe. It's a little bit more cool toned and jewel tone, you will see shortly. And I just want to go over whether it's worth picking up all 3 or if one is just enough and you basically have the collection. But I'm excited. They're $40 each, and each palette has a light version and a deep version. And I went more on the deep version route. 2 of them I have the deep version and 1 of them I have the light version, and the only reason why is because the deep version was out of stock. Now when you go to their website, the deep options are all gone. They're all sold out. They only have the light versions left. I believe that they will be restocking when they get a chance, but as of right now you can only get the light versions. But I'll link all of that below where you can get it and all that. And like I said, they're $40 each. I believe you'd get a discount if you purchased all 3. And Temptalia also has a discount code. I think it's Temptalia 15, where you could get additional 15% off. So I think all 3 palettes were like $98 for me, but I'll let you know which one's the light version, dark version. So we'll just start off. So I have the quintessential palette right here. Oh, another cool thing is all these palettes together does create a beautiful space photo. It's really pretty. But this is the light version, but this is a very cool toned leaning palette. It has mostly jewel tones and just a lot of cool toned mattes in it. I don't think, yeah, it's all pretty much cool tones. So 2 mattes in each palette was switched out with either a lighter or a darker version. So I think these are the 2 that were switched out, but I do really like it. This is more my vibe. I love cool tones. I love jewel tones, so it's really pretty. So then I have the Radiant Reflection, and this is a dark version, but this is also leaning super cool tone. There is some warmth in here, like with this pop of gold, but everything else, and this one is warm too, but the rest is all cool tones. And the 2 shades I think that were switched out was this one and maybe this one, or is this one and this one. I can't remember which 2 were switched out, but 2 of the mattes were different. And then the last one is the On the Horizon, and this is the dark version. And this too is very cool tone. This one has a little bit more neutrals in this one and more like muted colors in it. It's not as like jewel toned or deep. They're definitely more muted, but they all have a very similar vibe, like I said. So I'll show you guys all of them next to each other so you can just see what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's necessarily needed to purchase all of them, but like you see, here's all 3 together. Like, that's pretty overwhelming. You know, like there's a few differences. Like this is more cool tone, more jewel tone. This is a little bit more muted with mixed neutrals. And then this one is more of like a deep rainbow palette with like a few pops of warm tones. So that's them all together. So I think that's all the info I want to give you guys so far. Yeah, I think we're just gonna dive right in and create a look. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we can get right into it. Okay, got you guys zoomed in. I think I'm just gonna grab one. I'm gonna start off with Radiant Reflection. I did set my eyes with the Juvia's Place primer, and I'm gonna start with Dearest Constant. Just gonna dip my brush in. There's a little bit of fallout, nothing crazy. And I'm just going to sweep that all through the crease. Just get it all in there. It's definitely pigmented. It has a nice depth to it. But I just want to use that all in the crease. I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here, the like deep green. And I'm going to use that as like my deepening shade, and I'm just going to use that all here and kind of bring it into the crease. So I think I just want to, I don't know, do I want to use all shimmer? I think I want to go with all shimmer on the bottom. So I think I'm going to take Jealousy's Descent. That's the name. Interesting. So I'm going to take this pencil brush and I'm going to pick up the shade and I'm going to wet the brush because I don't want to have too much like shimmer fallout from that. And I'm just going to run that all on your lower lash line. It's just a like metallic version of the like matte that we have up on the lid. Okay, so I did my other eye off camera. I did also lay down some glitter primer so we could go right into laying down some shimmers on the eyes. So I think I'm going to use this right here on the lid, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to try. And then I'm going to take Exquisite Opulence as my inner corner highlight. I think that would be the best option to do. So I'm going to just take the flat shader brush I used to lay down the glitter primer, and I'm gonna see how that goes, putting that all over the lid. Yes, that is definitely a like taupey metallic. I think I want to go into the metallic green just a little bit with my finger and kind of use that on the edge here just to like merge these two better together, so we can have a better gradient of stuff. This is looking very like camel print inspired. But now let's go into the Exquisite Opulence. I love that name. And I'm going to pick it up with this little pencil brush from ColourPop, and I'm going to wet the brush just to intensify the intensity of it. And I'm just going to use that all in the inner corner. Okay, so here is the look, and I think it came out kind of cool. What do you guys think? It's a cool little mixture of colors. So I think I want to go off camera now and do like a wing, figure out something for my lips, zoom you guys a little bit out so you guys can see the final look, and then we can jump to the next palette. So here it is. Do you guys like this? I love how this makes me think of camel print for some reason. Like the mix in the brown and the greens. But what I did off camera was I went in with the Nabla mascara, the Nabla cereal liner, just to create a little wing. And then for my waterline, I went in with this kind of copper metallic shade. This is from Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Starfire. And it really matches very well with like the crease shade. And then for the lips, this like kind of deep orangey terracotta shade is called Limitless. This is from Propa Beauty, and I feel like it also ties in really nicely with this look. I love this look, so I think it's now time to go into the next palette. Okay, so I'm going to dive into the Quintessential palette now. This is the light version that I have. So I'm going to take this rougher number 15 brush, my first time trying this one out, and I'm going to go into Reaching Zenith right here, this like mid-toned gray shade. Definitely has some kickback in the pan, and I'm just going to put that all through the crease. And just use that as my transition. bit darker than I expected. But we'll work with it. I can fluff it out and just soften it. But I just want to use it all throughout the crease. I'm going to take this smaller little brush from Rougher number 13, and I'm going to go into the Parallax, the lighter gray shade, and I'm going to use that to just blend out the edges. Both of these shades have a lot of kickback, but it means that they're just more blendable. But it's going on the eyes really nicely. So I think I do want to deepen the look up with Umbra. Normally I start with the darkest shade, but I'm trying to build up and see how the shadows work going that route, because I know most people usually do their makeup in that sequence. So I'm gonna just use the small little 13 brush just so I can have more control. So I'm just gonna use that to add depth to the look, but I don't want it to get out of hand, so I want to work slowly and just slowly build the depth up. I feel like it's looking a little patchy, so I'm just gonna maybe do more of a packing motion. Sometimes with shades like this, if you just start swiping back and forth, it could get patchy like really easily. So I think now I want to do the lower lash line. Let me use this. I'm gonna clean it off. It's the Rougher 26 brush, and I want to use Interstellar on the bottom part, like on the bottom corner, and I'm gonna run it in a little bit, like maybe 3/4 the way in, because I want to put some shimmer in the inner part. So now it's time to lay some shimmers down, and I want to lay down some glitter primer. Okay, the glitter primer is laid down, so I'm going to start off with Celestial Boom. It's like a super deep, kind of like a Blurple shade, because it's leaning, it's like a mix between blue and purple, and I'm just going to use that on the part closest to the deep matte on the corner. And I want to take my Constellation, this like plummy shade, I'm going to use that here. And then I want to take the Milky Way. So I'm just going to clean off this brush, and I'm going to use that all in the inner portion. Ooh, I feel like this one has like a shift to it. Like this is like a dual chrome. This is really pretty. So for the inner portion of the bottom part, I want to lay it down just a little bit of glitter primer. And then I'm going to go into Galactic Muse. I'm just going to stamp that on. I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Ooh, that's pretty. It's a nice little metallic teal shade. And I'm going to clean this little brush off, and I'm going to take a little bit of Borealis, the more brighter green, and I'm going to stamp that just in the inner part. Ooh, it's translating a lot lighter than I was expecting it to. It looks darker in the pan to me. And then I want to take Serious Starlight, this like taupey shade, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. I do feel like all of the palettes are really lacking like a super light shimmer for inner corner highlight. They're all leaning a little too dark to really be poppy enough. Like you feel what I'm saying? I feel like it's just lacking a little bit of lightness to really pop the inner corner. I feel like that's still a little too dark. I actually feel like the Borealis one is gonna give more pop, so I think I want to pull up Borealis further up into the inner corner. just to give a little more. Yeah, I like that. Okay, eyes are looking fresh. I like this. This is different. I feel like I say that in every video, but I do try to do different things every time I do a look on this channel. But I think this is it for the eyes. I don't think I'm gonna add any more shadow. I'm gonna go figure out something for like my wing liner and the waterline, mascara, and I will be right back. So the look is finished, and what I did off camera was I put on the Novel mascara. I used the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliner in Fresh to just brighten up the eyes and really amp up that teal. And then for the wing, I'm using the Novel Serial liner. And for my lips, I pulled out one of the Sydney Grace's lip creams. They're really good. This is the shade Haley. It's just a very like pigmented gloss lipstick formula blend thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's a mauve shade, and I thought it would go really nice with this look. So I think it's now time to go to look number 3. Time for the last look, and we're gonna get into the On the Horizon palette. So I'm gonna start off with the Midnight Courage shade, and I'm gonna kind of map out my shape here with this. You'll see what I'm talking about, but I want to kind of draw a line with that. And that's why I'm using this little brush. I feel like this is kind of like a smudger brush. And I'm going to just like take it and then go up into like my crease, a little above it because my eyes are kind of hooded. And now I want to go into the October Odyssey. I like these names, they're cute. And this is kind of like a plummy, maybe burgundy shade, and I'm going to use that here to continue in the arch. I want to use the Desert Spoon, the green. I think I've used like green in all of the palettes. And I'm gonna use that to curve in the inner part. So I'm gonna fill the inner part now all with glitter primer. So I'm gonna fill it up all with metallics. It's just kind of like a outline to do like a big wing. And now I'm going to start off with Flying High, the deep kind of teal metallic. Picks up really well with the brush, and I'm going to fill out this space with that. Ooh, yeah. And now in the center portion, I want to use Sakura Glow. Ooh, yes, this is beautiful. I think so far this palette has my favorite metallics in it. And lastly, I want to take Earthbound, and I'm going to use that all in the inner part. Yes, it's nice and light. Perfect for the inner part. I'm just dragging the now, like the deep teal onto the lower lash line, like on the end. Just dragging it down. So now on the lower part, I think I want to take all throughout the lower line here, Phoenix Awareness, this like coppery shade. And like I always do, I want to lay down some glitter primer down there. And now I'm going to pick up Phoenix Awakens. Did I see Phoenix Awareness? Phoenix Awaken. Hopefully I said that right in the beginning. But I'm going to just stamp that all down here. Ooh, that is a stunning metallic. Yes, this one has the best metallic formula out of all of them. So now I'm going to take the Magellan's Light, this one right here, and I'm going to use it a little bit in the inner portion on the bottom, just definitely can like use a lot of shades in here. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Stunning. It has a lot of like little sparkles in it. Ooh, yes. I think I want to now take Lunar Illumination. It's like a lavendery shade, and I'm going to use that up in the upper part, up here. Yes, 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 yes. And I think I want to stamp Calming Presence, this one right here, as like my eyeliner. But I just want to stamp that along the lash line. So I'm gonna put on some mascara, figure out something for the waterline, and figure out something for my lips, and then I'll be right back. I'm back and the look is done. I really like how bold and in your face this look is, and it definitely gives me like Mardi Gras vibes for some reason. But what I did off camera was I went in with the Nava mascara, I went in with the Chanel mascara primer, and then on my lips I'm wearing the Sydney Grace lip cream in Christiana. It's like a peachy nude, and I used the LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay Auto lip liner to line my lips. And then for my waterline, I went in with the ColourPop cream liner and Exit, which is a white liner, but it kind of mixed with that like Tilly matte and kind of made like a bluish tint to it, which I think still looks fine because I couldn't decide what color to put there. I just wanted something to brighten up my eyes, make them look more open since everything's a little bit more dark on like the outer part and stuff in the eyes, and that's how I completed it. I love this so much. I really do. But that was all the looks that I wanted to create in this video today, so let's get into my final thoughts. Okay guys, I'm ready to give you my first impressions on all of these palettes, and I did love all of them and I love how all of my looks turned out, but I do have some thoughts on each of them. So the first one I have is the Quintessence, which I've been calling it Quintessential this whole time. I don't know how I messed up the name, but this one is surprisingly my least favorite, and I thought that this one was going to be my favorite because the color story is most my vibe. Cool tones and jewel tones, and this is the one that I would have picked up if I only picked up one palette from the collection, but it has more satin metallics in it, and I like more impactful high shine metallics. That is my preference, and a lot of these are leaning more satin or a little bit more on the drier side. I still think they're workable and I still think that they're pretty. It's just not my preference. The mattes in here are super nice. They're very pigmented, easy to blend. I mean, the mattes in all of the palettes were really, really good. It just, this had a more muted metallic formula. They do have a beautiful dual chrome in here. This one has sparkles in it. I thought Borealis was really pretty, and it's a lot brighter on the lid than it is in the pan. And the other thing is that this is missing a inner corner highlight. You would think these two could be inner corner highlights, but they're just not light enough. They don't make your inner corner really pop, and I like a super popping inner corner. So that's also missing from the palette. I do think it's nice. I still recommend it. I think it's a good palette, and if you did pick it up, you would enjoy it, but those are just, you know, my preferences, and they didn't fully meet them. Then the next one is the Radiant Reflection, and I think this one has the most versatile color story. It's definitely a rainbow palette. I like that you can go warm tone to cool tone with this one, and you can mix it up. And this one had some really beautiful metallics, like Exquisite Opulence is really creamy. This Our Starry Night, it's a little bit more on the chunky side, but it has these little shimmer specks all throughout, these little silver shimmer specks. And I mean, just overall, I really like this color story. I just think that you could do the most when it comes to like different looks is with this one. So I think this is really, really nice. I do recommend that one. And then the last one, the On the Horizon palette, I thought this one was going to be my least favorite because it's more of a muted color story. But this one is my favorite. It has everything I need in a palette. There's a lot of beautiful, impactful metallics in here. There's inner corner highlights. You have options. You could use this one. You could use this one. You could use that one if you want a lavender inner corner. The mattes were amazing, and like this one was so creamy. This one was really creamy. This more coppery shade was beautiful, and it just had everything I would need in a palette, and I would recommend this one the most. And I think this one is really good for someone getting into color because it's more muted, and it does have neutrals in this one, so you can do neutral looks, you can do colorful looks. You could switch it up a little more and go a little bit more chill with this palette, and I'm just overall impressed with this one the most, so I do highly recommend this one. Now, in terms of getting them all, I don't really think you need all of the palettes. I definitely think you should save your money. You don't need all three. Now, of course, if you want all three, go ahead. It's your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but I don't think it's necessary. All of them have some greens in it. All of them have like a kind of bluish dark shade in it. All of them have just the similar vibe with the cool tones and the like jewel tone metallic. So I just don't think it's necessary to buy all three. It really isn't. So that is just my thoughts on the entire collection. I think Temptalia did an amazing job, and I think Sydney Grace is an amazing brand and has a great eyeshadow formula. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below. Did you end up picking up anything from this collection? Did you like the looks that I created? Just how you are doing? Because I love hearing from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you like fashion, makeup, beauty, and all that fun stuff, please hit that subscribe button and join this little family we have here. And also give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. And don't forget to check out the description below. I'll have the palettes linked. I'll have other videos of mine you might be interested in. I will have my makeup linked, and I will also have my contact information there. I am also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_beauty. And I also did create a TikTok, which I'm still working on it. I don't think there's any content on there yet, but it is Breezy_beauty as well. So that was everything, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me for a little bit, and I do hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you love and light. But until next time, bye guys.